Hi everyone, it's Frank here at DroneZone.uk with episode number 3 of the podcast. I'm going to get straight into it today. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. First of all, I wanted to discuss the lack of drone technology on the UK's high street. It's annoying right now. There's a couple of places that you can go to. I'm going to come to that shortly. But yeah, first of all, as per usual, I want to invite all of you to get involved in the podcast and start sending streams and streams of your videos and photos, all taken from an aerial perspective with a drone of any kind and in any resolution and format and whatnot. Send it across to either me, Frank, at DroneZone.uk or podcast at DroneZone.uk. We'll try and feature as many photographs and videos from our listeners as possible in every podcast. Equally, I want to hopefully make this something of a community in the UK for drone enthusiasts and professionals, somewhere that you can send your questions and points of discussion and have them aired publicly. So, once again, it's Frank or podcast at DroneZone.uk. I will also feature them in our Instagram feed. We are at DroneZone UK. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. If you're watching this, you're clearly on it, so just take the mouse down and click. Job done. The more subscribers we get, the more we know it's going well, the more we know we need to put out more content. And if there's anything you haven't seen yet and there's something you want to be brought up on the podcast, let me know. So, straight into this particular episode's content, and like I said, rather annoying right now. If you're in the UK and you're into drones or any other kind of technology for that matter, you'll know that recently one of the best, in my opinion, high street stores for people like me is or was Maplin Electronics. It went into administration a couple of months ago. Sadly, it could not be saved, and thus the death of Maplin was upon us. It was a sad day on the UK high street, as far as I'm concerned anyway. It was definitely my number one place to go to for not just drones themselves in terms of buying the actual kit, but buying additional spares such as propellers and replacement controllers, etc., etc. They were always fairly good on price. Perhaps that's what was part of their downfall. Who knows? I have to say as well, their customer services was fantastic. I dealt with them a number of times, and I could never really say a bad word about them. So that was a real shame, as far as I can tell. And it really left a huge gaping hole in the UK high street. If you know anything about UK, the shopping or supermarket or retail sector as a whole, you will know right now it seems to be something of a crisis in that BHS suddenly went into administration. I believe Debenhams was now a couple of days ago in the news for teetering on the edge of collapse. So it's a real sad time for UK retail at large. That said, there aren't that many places like Maplin that you and I can go to for our regular fix of tech. The only one I can think of, and I have on my screen here, just to have a look over what their offering is, or is rather, Curry's PC World. So it used to be Dixon's many years ago, turned into Curry's, then it became Curry's PC World, now it's Dixon's, Carphone, Curry's, whatever. Straight away I went onto the website to see the price range that they're asking for drones of all types. I know that it looks like, anyway, that they have really, really taken the baton from Maplin in terms of the amount of tech that they stock. if you've been into a Curry's PC world, you'll know that they have everything from TVs to laptops and fridge freezers, you name it, they've got it. But drones, I don't think, was ever one of their big points until recently. So just a cursory look on their website, I can see they've got at least 66 DJI drones. They're stocking Unique, Parrot, Vivid, Kaiser bars, Low Pro, Power Vision, Rise Blades, Manfrotto, Arcos, didn't know they had a drone, Aura, Nikko Air, and GoPro. DJI being at the top of the list, the 66, as you can see. That's the drone that I use, the DJI Phantom 4. Top of the list here is the DJI Mavic 2 Pro drone with controller silver, £1,349. Not bad. It's fair considering everywhere else is charging pretty much the exact same. Next down on the list is the Parrot Bebop 2 drone. I used this drone a while back and it's not that bad actually. Pretty good. It has that banking motion when you're in a turn. So you don't really get this with the Phantom range, but with the Bebop 2, I'm not sure if it was on the original Bebop, but certainly on the second one, as you turn, the whole unit banks into the turn, just like an aircraft would, which is really nice to watch as you're flying around, and it doesn't disrupt the viewing angle of the camera. So that's pretty good. All in all, though, it's certainly not a prosumer crossover drone. I would say it's very much an entry-level drone, and the price point really is in that range as well. It's $299.99, so 300 quid from Curry's. The third one down looks like a frog. It's the Arcos Pico drone. It's black and green. Not too pleasant on the eye. Certainly more so pleasant on the pocket at 50 quid or 49.99. Not too bad. I guess if you're a child or someone who is perhaps very new to drones and wants to see what they're all about before they start lavishing huge amounts out on drones like this bad boy or its brothers and sisters. Anyway, the Bebop 2 with Sky Controller 2 is also available at $379.99. That's the one that I had. So with the FPV goggles, which I never used, just because I like to keep VLOS, visual line of sight. If you know anything about anything when it comes to drones safe in the UK, the drone code is what you must follow. I hope you are. It's something I will bleat on about in every podcast, so if you don't like it, you'll have to skip past it. But basically, the drone code is the rules that we have to follow. They're provided by the CAA, Civil Aviation Authority. They control the UK airspace. And if you're not following it, please start to follow it, because you are just ruining it for the rest of us. If you're flying over prisons and dropping drugs into prisons, or you're flying into the path of huge aircraft, firstly, you're an idiot. Secondly, I think you should seek help. Serious professional help. Onwards and upwards. The Mavic Pro has dropped in price, so there's a current saving of £150. It's £999 square, so just short of £1,000. It's a nice drone, obviously. I've used the Mavic Pro, and it's very nimble, very quick. It does about 40 mph in sport mode, and it really zips past you when you're flying. So the flight time is nowhere near as good as the good old Phantom 4. Did I mention that that's the drone I use? Yeah. Right, so this does what, 33, 34 miles per hour? It's not far off of the Mavic Pro, is it? But in my opinion, it's much better, because max flight time on the Mavic Pro is 27 minutes. On this little crackpot, I'll get 35 minutes. Anyway, I must say, actually, that is with the extended life battery of the Phantom 4 Pro. So on the standard battery, I get 30 minutes. 3 minutes still more than the Mavic Pro. Just saying, the DJI Spark Alpha White drone is £449. That's not bad for such a decent drone in terms of camera capability. It'll record in full HD 1080p. You can record and stream. It's iOS and Android compatible, as are most of them. Max speed 31 miles per hour, not bad. Max flight time, 16 minutes. I won't go into it because it's less than 500 quid. So, you know, if you're looking to get into drones, it's not a bad one to start with. If you get yourself a couple, get the Fly More combo, where you'll get like 2, 3, or however many batteries it is, and that will keep you flying for some time. So I'm going to click, just for time purposes, into, what did I see before I seen? Let's select the Parrot ones and the Arcos. Didn't know Arcos did a drone. Oh no, that's that green little horrible thing. I mean, it's the Arcos Pico at $49.99. Let's unselect that. Let's try the Power Vision. Another one I haven't seen too much about. My God, that looks like a stingray. Hence the name Power Ray. It's the Explorer underwater drone. I've seen this. I have seen this. 1,200 quid. Not bad, really, for what it does. It's 4K Ultra HD recording and streaming. Max speed of 4.48 miles per hour. I'm not sure how that would look underwater, but I'm sure you need to go relatively slow when recording in H2O. It's waterproof. I would have thought that was self-explanatory, but Curry's pointing that out. The Bebop 2, There's the Anafi as well. 34.2 miles per hour, 25 minutes flight time. Owing to the fact that Parrot generally vastly overrate their battery lives, I would probably hazard a guess at you getting about 18 minutes. And at 550 quid, I would go with a DJI still. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a DJI fan, so most of the podcasts that you see and hear, I will be talking about DJI. That's because of all of the drones I've used over the years, I've always reverted to the trusty DJI Phantom range. From the original Phantom to the 2, the 2 Vision Plus, the 3, the 3 Professional, the 4, the Mavics. I haven't yet to get my grubby little hands on an Inspire. I'd love to, but I'm not yet filming Hollywood blockbusters. So when I do, and I branch out into those 3, 4, 5, 10K GBPs, that is, drones, I'll let you know for sure on this very podcast. You heard it here first, or you'll hear it here first. You know what I mean? There's the Parrot swing drone with flypad. Anyway, point being, there's loads of drones at Curry's. However, I have a gripe with that too, because basically on the UK high street, it's Curry's and Curry's alone that are monopolising with drones. I know you can get them at places like John Lewis, I think, and other department stores. And there probably are a number of tech retailers out there that I haven't mentioned, but you're not on my high street, so I can't talk about you. I don't know about you. And as many times as I've said in the past, in my personal life, the age of your local retailers, from food supplies, butchers and grocers, and to, you know, tech shops and whatnot, they're a thing of the past. You just don't get them anymore, and it's a damn shame. I wish you did. there's a kind of, what's the word for it? Let's say a techie kind of shop. Basically, they sell the most random kit packs. There's no drones, but there's some flying things in there, like aeroplanes and whatnot. I'm not sure if they're battery operated or even if they're remote operated. But I went in there a little while ago for a T6 screwdriver to repair this little thing over here. And they didn't even have a T6, which is probably the go-to screwdriver for anything small and techie, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, I asked about drones. They said they were going to stock some in the future. They still haven't got them. That's like 6 months ago. So we're really stuck with Curry's because it's the most popular retailer on the high street, certainly of the big retailers anyway, for tech. And so that's a damn shame. We need to do something about it in the UK. I'm over here trying to create a community for drone enthusiasts and professionals and whatnot. How the hell am I supposed to keep up with it if the UK retail sector cannot get its act together and start doing something about shops closing, high streets being left bare and empty, and consumers and prosumers being left with no choice whatsoever but to go to one retailer? It's ridiculous. Something needs to be done about it. That said, at least we do have Curry's to go to should we need our regular fix of new drone technology. So I can't really say much more about it. That is the state of the UK retail market when it comes to drones, as far as I can tell. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Email me. It's frank@dronezone.uk. At me, it's at DroneZoneUK on Instagram. And comment in the comment section below, because I would really love to hear your thoughts. And if you can tell me something different about the state of the UK retail sector, please do. I would love to know where to go if I need a fix for drone tech. And I don't just mean buying a brand new drone. I mean, where can I get a new battery? And I don't want to go online. I want to go to a store. I want to physically hold the products in my hand before I buy them. Where can I get a battery? Where can I get new propellers? Where can I get landing gears? Where can I get a flight case or anything? You name it. I want to know this information. Please tell me so that I can then publish it in this podcast for everybody else in the drone community in the UK to find out themselves. That is episode number 3. Thank you very much for listening. Like I said, please send your content, questions, and points of discussion, and I will mention you in the podcast. For now, though, goodbye.